Well, a man can rape his wife. Yeah, even though it's not recognized by law, but from the proposition, from what the law provides, once there's no consent in a sexual relationship, it boils down to rape because there's lack of consent. And when there is no consent, and it doesn't matter the relationship whatsoever, it could be boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, it could also be husband and wife relationship. Once there's no consent from both parties, whether the wife or the man, it's rape. Yes.
The women are beginning to speak up. Most of them are beginning to be aware of their rights, and most of them beginning to agree that women should be allowed to speak up. Not just being educated alone, but they should speak up. And most of the women are beginning to agree that a woman should have access in an education, equal access in education, equal access in political offices, equal access in employment.
Major issues.
More women need to be empowered to know their rights, because if you don't know your rights, you don't even know that this is what I should do or this is what I should not do. So you need to know your rights, be able to take decisions for yourself, and we need to take this awareness down to the grassroots about the rights of women, the inequalities that have been practiced in the country and then in the grassroots. In my opinion, yes, the marital rape exists, and rape in any form is rape. It doesn't matter whether it is in marriage or it is outside marriage. Rape in its entirety is bad and it's a crime. So if it happens between spouses, it should be reported, in my opinion.
Men don't believe that it's possible for them to rape their wives. But in the actual fact, there are cases where we even have women suffering injuries as a result of rape by their husband. And when we say rape, it might be that the woman says, I am tired, I just came back from work, I had to do the house chores, and I needed to rest today. And you forced yourself on her. That is rape. But most of the time, it's not allowed, most especially because of our culture and religion. So we call it norms and traditions and faith most of the time. So that is why in the issues of gender-based violence, eliminating GBV would not be complete without bringing in the fathers of faith and culture, who most of the time are the champions or gatekeepers of these norms that have come to stay, and some of them are already giving way as a result of consistent advocacies.
Definitely a man can rape his wife, but there are some sentimental and controversial ideology behind it because of the idea of what marriage is and the commitment and submission of a woman to her husband. But that shouldn't be the case. Everyone has the right to want to do something they want to. Basically, consent. Consent is a major factor. So consent isn't just in a relationship. Consent is also what's in the marriage. So I'm married to you doesn't mean that you have access to my body whenever you like. Because if you say you want to have access to my body whenever I like, do I have access to your body whenever I like to? So that disparity that gives the men upper hand actually creates room for what men to have the right to what rape men, and it's totally unacceptable. It's barbaric and inhuman.
I would say that no matter how much we try to sugarcoat it or put it, rape is rape. There's no two ways about it. And no matter what, no matter who the person is, they should justice should always be served. You don't have any right to take anyone's integrity. And also when it comes to abortion, I will say my opinion is influenced by both the place I find myself in and the religion I find myself in. But for me personally, I would say it has to be the very last resort, and especially for my religion, it has to do with if it affects your health. So that's why I said it should be the very last option.
Men have been raping their wives now. Wives have been raping their husbands too. So it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. It happens because when you're not willing to meet your husband and he comes to force you, it's rape now. But in our society, when you come out as a wife to complain that your husband, it looks new. Why didn't you give him now? He needed it. Why didn't you give him? You understand? That is why I said we in the elites here and the enlightened ones, we are aware. We know it is wrong. We know the right way to follow to get justice for that. But what of the woman in the village? If she screams out in the night and say the husband wants to rape her, the village, her mother and father will pursue her back to the house. Go and meet him. So you can imagine what the women in the grassroots are going through.